Well, hello out there in Training Tuesday land, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Heidi Reese, and I am the Training Programs Manager for Dayton Superior. And all of us here at Dayton Superior hope that you enjoy these Training Tuesdays that happen every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And I want to, reach out if there's anything that you would like to see for a future Training Tuesday. Don't hesitate to let us know. Chuck and myself are always interested in what you guys want to learn about, and we'll try to make that happen for you. You can send us an email at training@daytonsuperior.com, and we'll get that information and talk with you, or just let us know what you want, or you can even do it through the chat functionality in Zoom. Speaking of the chat functionality through the Zoom, everybody's been muted so that we don't have any disruptions for our Training Tuesday, but I don't want you to feel like you can't be interactive with us and ask questions. So again, you can do that through the chat functionality in Zoom itself, and you can talk straight with me while we have the presenter talking, and at the very end, we'll have a question and answer session. So I've already said that it's going to be recorded, and these will be later put on our YouTube channels for Dayton Superior, as well as the DaytonSuperior.com website. Just search on Training Tuesday. You'll find two links, one to register and the other to see this recording and all of the other ones that we've done in the past. So let's get to it, shall we? So just to make you all aware, like normal, this presentation, is for training purposes only. Anything that you see within will be found on DaytonSuperior.com. So any technical specifications, safety data sheets, everything they're going to talk about, there is a safety data sheet for that on DaytonSuperior.com. Just access the website and you can find that information. So who is Dayton Superior? For those of you who may not know, we are the leading provider of engineered solutions for the concrete construction industry. So today we're going to talk a little bit about chemicals for the tilt and precast and panel erection area, but we don't just do that. We're also for other accessories, for other chemicals, and for the forming, the proven solutions through Simon's Forming shoring, concrete repair and restoration, bridge deck, rebar splicing, precast, and tilt-up. So we have chemical solutions that are specifically formulated to meet the design specifications in both new construction as well as your retrofit and repair needs. We have Simon's Forming and Shoring. We have a plethora of things. 24-hour service is top-notch, and of course, training. So if you need existing or more training to just remind you of how to use it, or maybe you don't even know, Chuck and I are there for you. Just talk to us at training@DaytonSuperior.com. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our guest speaker today. We heard from her last week on the Kasika, so check that out if you missed it. It's out there, like I said, on DaytonSuperior.com Training Tuesday. But today we're going to be talking about superior wall finish and how it can assist you in that smooth casing. So Holly Juergens is with us. She's the Director of Chemical Engineering here at Dayton Superior. And she's been at Dayton Superior for over 9 years, where she's worked in the research and development labs. She's done manufacturing, as well as been and is still pretty much our Dayton Superior Chemical Product Manager. So in her role now as Director of Engineering for Chemicals, she has done so much. She's formulated, tested many of our innovative products within our chemical line. She is a chemical engineer and brings a wealth of knowledge about how the chemicals are designed and work on the job sites. So she's really good about explaining and understanding, and has a lot of wisdom in that regard. She has an MBA degree that allows the business side to come through. That's where that product management side, and she makes her well-rounded for her role. But she still keeps that technical support to assist with formula, DOT, and other certification and testing questions. So Holly, with that introduction, let's hear about this new product, Superior Wall Finish, shall we?
Thank you very much, Heidi. As Heidi mentioned, my name is Holly, and I'm here today to introduce you to our newest product, Superior Wall Finish. So, Superior Wall Finish is a single component, cement-based rubbing, smoothing, and reprofiling repair mortar. The product was designed to eliminate small concrete surface blemishes, rough areas, bug holes, and form marks typically found on poured walls, tilt-up, and precast. The Superior Wall Finish is specially formulated with synthetic aggregate that allows it to provide a super smooth surface when applied. It was even nominated for the Innovative Product Award at the 2023 World of Concrete Show. As I mentioned, the product is used heavily in tilt-up and precast to help smooth and reprofile both interior and exterior, horizontal, vertical, and overhead surfaces. Right now, the product is available in 30-pound bags. We plan on adding 10-pound bags in the next few months. As we all know, no matter how hard we try to be perfect, things always happen with both new and old concrete. So whether your surface was improperly cured or maybe it was exposed to rough weather conditions after it was placed, Superior Wall Finish can make the surface appear just like new. So the product can be used on above grade surfaces, even in moist conditions. Superior Wall Finish has undergone both shrinkage and expansion testing to ensure that even in the harshest conditions, the product remains intact and inert. So these next few slides are going to show just a few examples of some of the problems you may see in the field that you can easily fix using this Superior Wall Finish. So as I mentioned, the product fills in all rough areas and holes without any shrink back. So you don't have to worry about going back over it again with a few passes to make sure that you've filled those holes in. The smooth surface is also something you're going to need to experience for yourself. So if you haven't gotten a sample yet, there will be a QR code for you to scan coming up in a few slides, so you can order a sample and try out the product. So sample bags come in both 30 and 40 pounds, depending on which is available in your area. And the product can be easily applied in smaller quantities, as we will demonstrate later in the training today. So besides some of the things we've already talked about, what makes Superior Wall Finish so great? Well, to start, it's super easy and quick to use. You don't need a primer. You're just going to mix the powder with water and you get a nice light gray finish to cover your imperfections. The product cures itself and develops a high bond strength. It's not sensitive to water after curing, so again, it can be placed on exterior surfaces that are exposed to harsh, wet conditions for extended periods of time. With a 20 to 30 minute working time, you've got plenty of workability while not having to wait too long for the product to set, and it can be used down to 40 degrees. If you're looking to paint your surface, Superior Wall Finish is ready to cover in a little less than an hour and accepts all different types of paint, so you can simply use whatever you have on hand, whether it's latex, water-based, whatever you've got. There's no dusting like you might see with some other products. No shrink back, as I mentioned, that requires multiple passes to fill in holes completely, and that super smooth surface doesn't even need sanded. If you're working with LEED projects, living building challenges, or you simply need an environmentally friendly product, the Superior Wall Finish is actually Mass Green certified. So if you're unfamiliar with the Mass Green certification, it is an accredited third-party certification program. It certifies building products for use in offices, classrooms, and residential settings based on the VOC emissions testing. So right now, the common test is the CDPH version 1.2, which is the California Department of Public Health standard method for testing and evaluation of volatile organic chemical emissions from indoor sources using environmental chambers. So that's a lot, right? But in other words, it's a test to show how many harmful molecules are floating around in the air we breathe caused by the products we use. So by being Mass Green certified, we have test results to prove that Superior Wall Finish passes the most stringent test designed to protect people from harmful indoor environments, which is why you can use it on the LEED projects, the living building challenges, or if you need low VOC emission products in general. So you can easily find the Mass Green certificate for Superior Wall Finish on the left-hand side of its landing page at DaytonSuperior.com. And the Superior Wall Finish is actually just one of 45 different Dayton Superior products that can proudly display that Mass Green certified leaf that you'll see next to the product name. So So another great benefit of Superior Wall Finish is all the ways in which it can be applied. So the product is extremely light and fluffy. So you'll notice that 30 pounds of product actually comes in a 50-pound bag. So that super light and fluffiness is actually what makes it very easy to work with and spread. So it can be applied using a brush, a trowel, or a roller. So the product can be applied as thinly as feather edge, and on vertical surfaces can be placed as thickly as 2 inches. If you're going to apply overhead, we do recommend your maximum thickness not go above 1/8 of an inch. So next up, I've got a surprise guest speaker in the form of Todd Fraker. He's a technical sales representative who's been with Dayton Superior for 40 years. We've got a great video of him applying Superior Wall Finish while discussing the various benefits of it. It's a great example of how you can mix Superior Wall Finish to a consistency and volume of your liking, regardless of whether you're pulling from a 10 or 30-pound bag. So as I mentioned earlier, this is that great example of if you want a 30-pound bag, but only maybe want to use 5 pounds at a time.
This is a new product from Dayton Superior. It comes in a 30-pound and a 10-pound bag. It's just add water only. Don't worry about the mixing ratios because most guys, they're doing this day in and day out, just tend to mix it up into a consistency that they like. They can get it on the wall. And this is going to take care of bug holes and form marks and any inconsistency on the wall. The good news about this product is it can be used down to 30 degrees. You can stack and patch with that. And it's paintable within 2 hours. And it is, of course, waterproof. I'm going to add a little bit more powder down here. Got it working the way I want it. Get the blade. This is just simply a drywall blade. This is the way most guys that are doing stack and patching, they like to use these kinds of tools because they're going fast. Right? So I will say the cost of this product is very reasonable. And so this is about what it looks like. Kind of looks like a thinner drywall mud when you're all mixed up. And these guys are going to be doing this all day long, right? And they're just going. They're going to be taking care of the chamfers, all the little bug holes, boom, boom, boom. So that's all there is to it. It's not going to shrink back, and then they're done. Okay, they're going to come back, and they don't have to do any more. If they got some high spots in a spot like on an edge or something, they need to shave it. They can do that within about a half hour. Right, that's all there is to it. See how it's hanging on the end of the trowel, very isotropic, so it's not going to be flying all over the job site. You're not going to have a lot of excess product use that you're paying for that's not going on the building. Profitability, once again. And so if we're working on, edges, chamfers, very nice color, very nice application. See how it's filling up all those really rough spots. This is a new product from Dayton.
All right, so if that video really sparked your interest, and you can't wait to get your hands on the product, try it for yourself, you can simply scan the QR code to request a sample of the Superior Wall Finish. If you have trouble with QR code, you can also email training@daytonsuperior.com and they will send you the link to fill out to request that sample. Sample quantities are limited, so make sure you request one now and see what it's all about. When you get that sample, you also have contact from your local sales rep who will reach out to you with the safety data sheet and the technical data sheet for your use, which you can also find on the website. So one of the most common questions I've been getting is, how does Dayton Superior Wall Finish compare to our other smoothing and reprofiling products? So I did compile a quick comparison of the wall finish to our thin resurfacer and our architectural finish. So the thin resurfacer is a pretty robust horizontal repair mortar and resurfacing product typically used to cover rain-damaged spots on new concrete or badly spalled areas on older concrete surfaces. It's got a strong aggregate and it's polymer modified, so the formulation is going to provide superior abrasion resistance with some higher compressive strength, as you can see in the chart. makes it a great option for repairing surfaces that are exposed to harsh service environments. So you're looking at areas like warehouse floors, for example. You can also use it around your house or on concrete areas around commercial buildings. So it can be used as a wearing surface, whereas superior wall finish and architectural finish are more for aesthetic purposes. So they're going to be cleaning up those aesthetic areas where you're going to see, but you're not necessarily going to have a bunch of traffic on. So all products can be applied down to feather edge, but the architectural finish and thin resurfacer are a little bit more limited when it comes to depth of placement. So the thin resurfacer, as you can see, has a max placement of 1/2 inch, and architectural finish is 1/8 of an inch for each pass. So the architectural finish does not contain aggregate. So as I mentioned, our thin resurfacer has got some pretty strong aggregate in it. Our superior wall finish has that synthetic aggregate in it that makes it super smooth. The fact that architectural finish does not contain aggregate means that it can lead to some of that shrink back that we talked about. So it's going to require multiple passes of product to completely hide those blemishes and those holes. Overall, the superior wall finish is a slightly more forgiving product. You're not going to have any dusting, and it will eventually replace the architectural finish in the product portfolio. This is simply just due to its ease of use, its improved properties, and the total versatility of the product as a whole. Together, the thin resurfacer and the superior wall finish will provide Dayton's customers with a great comprehensive concrete reprofiling portfolio, whether you're doing horizontal to vertical overhead projects or projects that are requiring a solid, strong wearing surface to a super smooth aesthetic finish. So between the thin resurfacer, superior wall finish, and currently the architectural finish, we've got all of your needs covered with these 3 products. Now I'm going to pass it back to Heidi so she can tell you a little bit about the resources Dayton Superior has to offer.
Awesome. Thanks, Holly. I really appreciate you putting that chart together because I actually have those questions as well. So as Holly mentioned, if you wanted to get a sample, they are limited, but they do reach out to you with the safety and tech data sheets because it's always important to read the instructions on those information sheets that you get with your packaging in order to be successful. So our resources are available on DaytonSuperior.com. We have product pages out there. Holly had mentioned the product page recently in the training here, talking about the Mass Certified Green. And if you wanted to see that certification, if you look in the bottom right-hand corner there, that image, that is the product page. And she was referring to under the contact dealer, that gray box, you can find it in there. In addition, you'll find the technical and the safety data sheets, handbooks that are associated. But importantly, if you want to talk to a sales representative or if you have technical questions, we have a who to contact page that can be found on the website. And that's the image that you see in the top right. The customer service page and the technical assistance link, you can put your question in there and talk with them that way, or call the 1-800 numbers. If you want a more who exactly your contact would be, we have a regional map that you can click on there, find your state, and find your contact. In addition, and he's on the phone, Mr. Matthew Carter there in the top left picture, him along with his cohorts, we have a dedicated tech services line, and they are here to assist you for R&D and testing and field support. They are excellent with real-time problem solving, and they will handle some training customized for you if need be to allow you to understand our chemicals. Him and I work together very closely with Chuck. He handles a lot of the chemical situations. And just want to let you know that they're here. These are our technical support team. They're excellent if you happen to need them. In addition, I've already referenced it, but let's talk about it again. There's another QR code here. So if you need training, either from Mr. Carter that I just mentioned, or Chuck or myself, or if you have questions for Holly, if you need that customized training, or if you want to look at another past training Tuesdays, please just scan this QR code and you can get that process started. All of the training Tuesdays are on DaytonSuperior.com. It points to our YouTube channel. They're all out there. I think this is the 68th one that we've done so far. So you can see all of them organized on our website, And you can say, okay, I want precast. Well, precast chemicals, I want to see this one, it's under the chemical. They're all out there and for you to peruse at whenever you need to. It's your time, and you can click and learn as you go on your time. With that, I'd like to open it up to any questions that you may have for us on the Superior wall finish. Or, oh, I have one. In horizontal applications, can this material be used with vehicle traffic, such as sidewalk or spalled concrete?
So in that case, you're actually going to want to use that thin resurfacer. As I mentioned, Superior Wall Finish, it's a great aesthetic product for fixing any kind of issues you might have in that case. But if you've got a wearing surface where you're going to have traffic over top of it, you're going to want something that's designed around a little bit more strength, which is where that thin resurfacer comes in.
Awesome. And I never ask questions, Holly, and I'm going to ask one. And nobody laugh at me because I'm not technical expert in chemicals, but I was looking at my basement walls the other day on the outside, and I noticed there was some pock marks. Could I use a product like this around that?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. I'll have to look into that.
It's super, like I said, it's super easy to use. You can watch Todd in the video apply it. He just slaps it on with a little drywall tool. It goes on real nice and smooth, so it's very beginner user friendly since you say you're not super involved in the chemical side of things. So just mix it with whatever consistency you want to see and just throw it up on the wall.
That's awesome. And then it dries to that nice gray color to match the concrete. Yeah.
Yes, and like I said, it's super smooth. So if you haven't gotten a sample to try it out for yourself yet, play around with different water addition rates. You have to try it and just see how smooth it is.
Awesome. Okay, anybody else out there? Do you have questions? Maybe you're using one of the products that she mentioned earlier and you want to see how this one can overlap that or be in conjunction? I'll let you guys type those in if you do have questions. Just want to remind you, feel like I'm reiterating a lot to go through. They all past training Tuesdays have been recorded and they're out on our Dayton Superior and YouTube channel. Sign up for the next one. Next week is going to be on product estimations and a new cool technical estimating tool that we have called SlabWorks. So we're going to be looking at that for the tilt precast side of the business. So make sure to register for that. And if there's no other questions, then I'll go ahead and let you have 5 minutes back. Oh, how can I get a sample? Linda, I will send you the, actually, let me go back and see if you can scan this code. If not, I will get you the URL. So you're welcome. Go ahead, I'll leave that up for a minute. And is there any other questions while she's trying to scan that? Let me know if it doesn't work and I'll get it to you.
I will say that if you do get a sample, I think this is pretty common knowledge, but if you're going to use less than what's in the bag as a whole, please make sure that you store it in a closed container, such as a pail, and close that off so you don't have any sort of moisture contamination with the powder.
I'm loving this.
Questions pertaining to the comparison of products?
So actually, did you see Bill wanted the comparison chart. I was just about to say, I love this interaction. This is great. And so I cut you off. I didn't mean to. Holly, what were you saying, for example?
So Superior Wall Finish is pretty much just an amped up version of the architectural finish. So a lot of great things were added to it without adding cost. So shrinkage compensated. We're making sure that when you're putting it in a harsh environment, it's not going to either blow up with a bunch of moisture and it's not going to shrink back where like architectural finish sometimes will have that problem. That's why it requires those multiple passes to cover those bug holes up. The polymers that are in there give it a really great smooth surface, makes it really easy to apply, and you've got a nice amount of depth that you can apply the product to. 2 inches is pretty darn thick, especially for something that's typically applied thin down to feather edge. And we've had questions about different applications. So Anything with the trowel, roller, or brush should work. If you would like to investigate that further, you're welcome to talk to our tech service team about that. It can be sanded. It doesn't really need to be, but it definitely can be. We've sanded it, but it's super smooth right out of the gate without having to sand it. Architectural finish is generally a little bit more grittier, so you would want to sand that anyways. The Superior Wall Finish doesn't have that issue. But you'll notice the strength of Superior Wall Finish and the architectural finish are kind of low, and that's why I say they're aesthetic finishes as opposed to wearing surfaces like that thin resurfacer. And the larger aggregate and the thin resurfacer is going to make it hold up much better. It's going to hold up great when you've got foot traffic, wheeled traffic, like forklifts in a warehouse, anything like that.
Fantastic. Okay, well, I guess I better go check out our warehouse in the back and get some for my house, right? Oh, we got another one here. Do we have a training video on thin resurfacer? You know, I'm not sure. Do you know, Holly, off the top of your head? I should probably know that.
I don't think we have a video on it. I know that whenever we hold trainings, our technical service team with Matthew Carter, Nathan Gooch, they go in depth on all of our products. If there's something specific that you need help with, you're welcome to give them a call in the resources that Heidi had listed, and they can talk you through any questions you might have about its application. Or if you need a training set up, we're welcome to do, maybe you just want a powders training. That's something that we can offer to go in a little bit more in depth on the different powder products we offer and how they all compare to each other, when you use them, when you use something else.
Absolutely. And you know what? I don't have full access to my computer right now since we're running this, but I will look and see if we've done a piece of a training Tuesday. And if we have, Bill, I will send you a note about it, okay? But yeah, feel free to, I put the information back up for you for the tech services, and you can get in contact with them if you want to see what that's all about. Anything else, guys? This is great. Okay, well, Holly, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, and I learned a lot, and I'm going to go get some stuff and take the afternoon off and do my basement. No, I'm just kidding. But everybody, enjoy your Tuesday, and I'll see you next week. Bye now.